Okay, I've just got back from a couple of meetings today. I've been out on the road today, saw a couple of clients, and we looked at MailChimp, but specifically what we'll call I was going to say the death of MailChimp. That's not fair and that's not correct. But the GDPR, General Protection, Data Protection Regs, that's easy for me to say, um, the impact on email marketing. And I'm going to talk quickly about that. First of all, it didn't really work, did it? I don't know about you. I still get lots of emails every morning from people selling me things. Usually, then they've got what I'll call a GDPR excuse included, like, I am not communicating with you as a GDPR compliant, blah, blah, blah. This is a one-to-one approach, all this kind of nonsense, which basically means you're still spamming me, which annoys me even more, actually. I miss the old spam where at least you didn't pretend you weren't spamming me. And so it didn't really work, did it? From a marketing perspective, I understand the data security side, storing data and so on, but from a marketing perspective, that stopped no one. And there are three reasons for this, or should I say there's one main reason, which is some people don't care. And they are the ones who weren't responsible with data anyway. So you haven't stopped anybody. I meet in the real world, not in theory world, in real world, three types of customer. The first type takes GDPR very seriously when it comes to email marketing. Very seriously. That means they don't send any anymore because it's not strictly compliant. And they worry about GDPR to the point where one of my customers emailed me and said, I can't sleep at night about GDPR. At which point I replied to her and said, calm down, basically. So you got one type of person, normally a smaller business, normally a very responsible business who takes data security seriously, which is why they worry that they're not doing it right. Those people who basically have stopped email marketing. I've then got people on the other side of the coin who just keep doing it. And there are two types of person in the I don't care camp. One is the people who spam me. They don't care because they know there's no stick. It's a theoretical stick. Last year, under the data protection regs, there were 36 prosecutions or 38 prosecutions by the data commissioner, the information commissioner's office. 36 out of a business population in the UK of 6 million. I'd say your odds of being prosecuted are very, very small. And they were persistent offenders in terms of email marketing, I mean, persistent offenders. I rang up the ICO, the Information Commissioner's office, and said, should everyone be this scared? And they said to me, no, we're here to help. If we see a breach, the first thing we'll do is we'll go and speak to that customer and say, did you mean to do that? Was it intentional? Was it an abuse of power when you breached the regs? They want to help people. And they use the words to me, the ICO, Information Commissioner's Office, they're the people who enforce this stuff. Carrot, not a stick. That's what they do. So you've got what I'll call a type of person who just doesn't care because there is no threat, really. The chances of being prosecuted are so small. You can be prosecuted. It's your classic might happen to me fear scenario, just how a lot of this GDPR marketing, or what's the word, workshops and so on, that's how they worked, I would say, as an opinion. I do not belittle the importance of data and people's right to have data security at all. But the Information Commissioner's Office, who enforce this stuff, they're the ones who said there's a lot of scaremongering around. Quote, they are not my words. That's what the ICO said. And I defer to them. They are the one policing this stuff. Right. You then got another person who keeps sending the email despite GDPR not being compliant. They're the ones who are, in my experience, the successful businesses I meet, the ones who send out lots and lots of email, make a lot of money, and are responsible email marketers. They've taken the opinion, they tell me. I stay on the line, right, on email marketing. I'm an advisor. And so I'm like, you shouldn't do it unless you're fully compliant. But they take the view, after you've given the advice, that they're not going to get prosecuted. They are honest sign-ups. People have followed them over the history of their business. They take data responsibility seriously, and they'll keep sending them. Okay, so they're the two sides of the coin. I've got someone who's very afraid, doesn't send anything anymore, but the other side of the coin, which is two types of people, don't care at all because won't get prosecuted, spammers, right? And the other side doesn't care really because they know they won't get prosecuted, but more importantly, they feel they're responsible anyway in terms of email communication. Fair enough. It's your decision as a business owner what risk you take. We know the penalties. Then I've got people in the middle. The people in the middle keep sending the email because they actually don't understand any of it anyway, or they don't want to. The amount of emails I get in email marketing terms that say, I'm sending you this email, I'm GDPR compliant, blah, blah, blah. You still sent me the email. So you're clearly not. And if I hear one more that I'm allowed to email companies, ring up the Information Commissioner's Office and ask them that question. Named people in business emails, ask them if you can do it. They'll say no. They will. Okay, so that's kind of a long, rambling, slightly spam-driven, passionate comment about email marketing. What do you do? What do you do if you've done email marketing in the past, business-to-business email marketing, I mean, and you want to engage these people again? And my approach on this is you move them onto a platform where the GDPR is already ticked off. That is LinkedIn. People who use LinkedIn sign up to receive communication. That's already done and dusted. I can communicate with you on LinkedIn, either like your stuff, follow your stuff, comment on it, because you've signed up to the platform and you agreed to be communicated with by other people on LinkedIn. So I need a migration strategy, which is what I've been doing today, migration strategy to take the really important people from my email list. That's not everybody. The really important people, the people who give me 8% of the money for 20% of the effort, the important people, I need to go through my MailChimp list manually. That's not automation. That's you deciding what is important and decide who should be on my LinkedIn profile. Download both lists, LinkedIn, MailChimp, and then say who's not on both. Right? This is a circular strategy. It's a better strategy because MailChimp is a reactive marketing tool. If I send you an email, I don't know you read it. I didn't know you were ready to engage with me. It's a one-way piece of communication unless you reply. It's reactive. Really, it's a piece of proactive marketing, but actually I wait for you. I don't like that. I want businesses to have strategies where they are truly engaging. That's LinkedIn. If I see what you say and I talk about your material, I get a better response. If I just put out my noise all the time, I really don't get very much response. Just check out anybody's social media posting or LinkedIn posting. You rarely see a lot of response. It's because you're making your noise. There's a place for that. But what we want to do more importantly is we want to talk about what you think as the customer so that you know I actually care and I'm interested in you. So the first thing I have to do is I take my MailChimp list, I migrate the important people across to LinkedIn. That means I either upload the list and connect with you to LinkedIn or I find you. This is real world stuff. There is no digital does everything scenario. I go and find you and connect with you and I like your stuff and so on. And I migrate my MailChimp important people over to LinkedIn list so I can see what you're saying. When I see what you're saying, I'll start talking to you. When I start talking to you, you'll connect with me. You won't wait for me to approach you out of the blue. You'll connect with me because you think, well, that person really cares about what I'm saying. And once you connect with me, I am going to still use MailChimp because I was talking to someone about it today. People are familiar with that newsletter format. They understand it. They're familiar with it. And when you write a MailChimp newsletter, you get a unique web address where you can view it in the browser. I'm going to use that. Once you connect with me, we're going to post that on a regular basis. And the only addition to the newsletter will be a section that says GDPR compliant sign up. And I'm going to reverse you back to the MailChimp. It's a cleansing mechanism, which means I communicate with you on LinkedIn in a marketing sense. I make business or do business with you by doing that. You see my brand. There's loads of benefits and pluses. Meanwhile, in the end, in the long term, once I communicate with you, we go all around the GDPR compliant way and I come at you from both ways because you want me to. It's exactly the point of GDPR. It's opt in, not download a list and spam people. It's opt in. I just happen to be making business and new business and money by communicating with you in that circle through LinkedIn to get you to the point, sign up for my email, GDPR compliant. And that's what I've been doing today, mapping out that process with two businesses to ensure that their MailChimp list doesn't just die, that we turn it into something far more powerful, which is LinkedIn marketing with a view to engaging people, spinning them around the circle. They re-sign up in a GDPR compliant way, and then I have all my important people on all my important channels. And that was my day today.